That's crazy. How did you get the corn cob out of the dog's intestines?
Yeah, so she obviously opened the dog up, and actually upon diagnosis that was done via x-ray. So really awesome owner suspected that this had happened, and yeah, on x-ray you could see the corn cob, which is really great.
Welcome to the Animals Around the Globe expedition.
Welcome back to the Animals Around the Globe expedition. We have today again Alex on the show, our vet student and dog lover. She talked recently to Dr. Ross, who is a vet in South Africa and finds all different things in dogs. So let's jump into that conversation.
Hey Chris, thanks for having me. Yeah, so I have been fortunate or unfortunate to assist or be her sort of assistant during surgeries where we've seen objects stuck in dogs. The two that I was assisting in, one of them was actually a corn cob. So, you know, in South Africa, you call them a mealie. So yeah, just a general corn cob that a dog, he had probably after a barbecue, it was probably in the bin and is the type of dog or prone to eating things out the trash and may have knocked the bin over. And yeah, this sort of half a corn cob that obviously didn't have like the corns on it anymore because someone had already eaten them, literally formed a plug in its intestine.
And that clogged the system of the dog, this corn cob.
Yeah. So obviously in the long term, it can be fatal, obviously, if it goes untreated. But yeah, fortunately, she did the surgery, it was removed, and the dog survived. So that was really good.
That's crazy. How did you get the corn cob out of the dog's intestines?
Yeah, so she obviously opened the dog up, and actually upon diagnosis that was done via x-ray. So really awesome owner suspected that this had happened, and yeah, on x-ray you could see the corn cob, which is really great in terms of being able to diagnose without having to just sort of not know what was happening. Whereas if dogs seem to eat like bedding or materials, like maybe they like to chew their bed and they eat lots of bits of material, those can be really challenging because they don't show up on imaging like x-rays or ultrasound. Yeah, and then she removed it and, you know, surgically and stitched up, you know, where she had to make the incision to get it out. And the dog made a, you know, full recovery. So that was really great.
Oh, wow. No, and what else is usually like stuck in dogs? So what do you find?
So one of the main ones that she mentioned being a risk is actually bones, you know, like meat bones, especially sort of your longer bones or bones that have a hole in the middle. Yeah, even though we think that it's maybe not perceived as normal for a dog to get a bone, especially when they break pieces off, they might swallow it. And if they're sharp, you can imagine that it could cause damage. And if they're big, they might get blocked. Yeah, so that's sort of one of the top ones. Another one is sort of those toys that have rope with them. So like a hoof that you buy at the pet shop, but sometimes they seem to be attached to string, and in them sort of maybe trying to chew the bone or swallow the bone or whatever it might be, or hoof, they ends up with some string in their gut. And string, as you can imagine, if it's like this long or whatever, the intestine might twirl and it kind of can form a bit of a knot. Those can get a bit nasty apparently.
Oh, wow.
In essence, anything, I suppose, that's not its, you know, regular diet could be a risk. Another one are these in the article or in the web story, if people are reading or can see the web story, there's a picture of palm trees, like with their pips. And there was a dog that I think must have eaten about 40 or 50 of those. And those sort of got stuck and caused a blockage. Yeah, because they're really woody and they happen to have eaten quite a lot of them.
Oh, that's not good. And did this dog also have to be like open up and
yeah. But all was good. They were all removed and it all ended up fine, but quite a strange one maybe. But yeah, also an option, maybe like a fruit pip, like peach pips could do the same.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And something that she sort of mentioned being such like a dangerous one is actually kebab sticks. Maybe not as common, but you know, like if you have chicken on the sticks or meat or something, maybe after a barbecue, and for some reason the dog finds it, you can obviously picture like this mini spear.
Yeah.
And they, you know, eat that, it can cause quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. I guess just dogs love to eat, so they're like not really.
Especially if it smells like it comes off the barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
Yeah.
these are really good things. Yeah. And are these surgeries usually dangerous, or do they work out?
I think any surgery has a risk to it because an animal goes under general anesthetic. But especially with these, some of the mentioned items, they're critical that they happen because if something has blocked or caused damage, in all cases, I think a lot of these things can't be solved without vet intervention.
Yeah.
I think if you ever suspect your dog has had this happen, that you seek out the right sort of medical attention.